Well, hello there. It's me, Terry. I want to start this video with a question. Do you have a tendency to make a bunch of New Year's resolutions that maybe you already have broken by February 1st? Anybody in that situation? Full disclosure, I've never loved the New Year's resolution stuff because there is no self-reflection. So in today's episode, I'm offering you a way that you can unpack the last year, 2021, understand your own growth and what needs work, and teach you my favorite end of the year burn ritual so you can burst into 2022 feeling ready and energized. Does that sound good? Great. All right, before we get going, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, right? And you can hit the little button, that little bell, so that you don't miss anything. If you're new here, please make sure that you introduce yourself in the comments because we are a friendly group. And I love to say hello, and I read all of your comments. If you don't know me, my name is Terri Cole. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, a relationship expert, and the author of Boundary Boss, which you can get at boundarybossbook.com. I so appreciate all of your participation and all of your comments. You do know I read them all, and I love to highlight them. So today I'm highlighting a comment from Colleen, which was on the episode called Codependency from Confusion to Clarity. And she said, I came here because I have genuinely tried to make time for my interests, hobbies, etc., then never made it. I realized my schedule was constantly interrupted by other people's needs. Codependent, I finally get it. Thank you. Well, you are welcome, Colleen. And of course, you are also not at all alone. So now let's move into today's content. What I love to call this ritual, what I do annually, is what crap are you leaving in 2021? Because that is really what we're doing. We're deciding, we're looking back, like what happened? What was great? What was not great? What could I learn from? What could I do better? What did I do amazingly well? That's what this annual ritual is about. And it really did come about from my experience with having New Year's resolutions that just set me up to fail. Just made me feel bad about myself because I would make them too big and too hard and go from 0 to 100 and then wonder why I couldn't keep it up. So let's talk about what we're doing. This is a self-reflection, a sacred ritual that I teach every year. I update it every single year because, wow, what a year we had in 2021. So it certainly needs to be updated. And I just wanted to offer you an alternative to New Year's resolutions. From a therapeutic point of view, the most effective way to make real lasting change is to look back. Right? We need to look back and find evidence of what actually happened. This is how we make lasting change, is what hasn't been working in your life. What has been working, right? And it's from this place of self-awareness and truth that you can decide what shifts to make in your life so that you can align your choices with the life you really want to create. So, I'm inviting you to create space and time and the luxury to really think about what needs to change in your life. And I walk you through it. The download, just go to terricole.com/guide. The whole download is there, and it's pretty extensive because it is the end of the year, but you really want to give yourself the luxury of time to do this. So we're going to start with listing your peak experiences of the last year. So 2021, right? What were your peak experiences? And these can be good things, and they can also be things that were really difficult. For me, a peak experience was publishing or having my first book published, April of 2021. So that was a peak experience. And I needed to unpack all of the things that happened around that experience, the things that I felt great about, the biggest moments, the things that I was surprised about. And that's what I'm walking you through in the downloadable guide, really dialing into what was joyful and what was incredibly stressful, because at the same time that was happening, many of you know, my mom was going through cancer treatment, so chemo and radiation. She's in her 80s. It was very stressful. She's well now, thank God. But that's something that in my end of the year ritual, I needed to get really honest with myself about how that experience was. How would I do it differently? I mean, I feel like I stepped up for my mother the best that I possibly could. Thank God I have sisters as well. But there are certainly ways that I was self-soothing that I would like to do differently next time, if there is a next time. But, I'm also, we also have to be kind to ourselves. Sometimes we literally are doing the very best that we can. The next thing that I want you to do, and that's on here, is we're going to have a big brag list. This is something that most of us do not do enough, is brag about the things that we feel proud about, our accomplishments, the things that we did well, right? It's so incredibly tempting and easy to focus on what didn't go right. What are the things that I did wrong? So I want you to start thinking about, what was your biggest accomplishment in 2021, right? What are your greatest strengths and how did they help you over this last year? I could look for myself. That resiliency and keeping going is a strength that I have, which sometimes can also be a weakness because sometimes you need to take a break. But in the situation that I was in, it actually was a great strength to know that I have this very resilient spirit and this ability to keep going even when I don't feel like it. I want you to think about, what are your proudest moments of 2021? And then we're going to really move into becoming discerning about what is the crap that we want to leave in 2021. What are the things that you do not want to bring into 2022 with you? And this can be people, places, things, experiences, feelings, circumstances, situations. Run the gamut. Anything that you don't want to be carrying on your back into 2022. And, this is just sort of a precursor to you actually doing the ritual. So I want you to think about right now, can you just bring to mind things where you go, yeah, I don't need to be bringing that into 2022. I don't want to. And I'm giving you all the categories. So your relationship with yourself, your health, your family situation, your friendships, your job, your finances, or your romantic relationships, right? What is it that you don't want to bring with you into 2022? And, you'll have a whole list, and then you'll be able to add, obviously, this is all going to be, editable so that you can edit it to make sense in your own life. But a really important part of this process of this ritual and self-reflection is looking for the gems in the crap from 2021. And this is not to be confused with spiritual bypassing, because that's not what I'm talking about, or emotional bypassing. I'm really talking about having the ability, and I want you to cultivate this ability to look at every situation that you find yourself in your life, things that you've experienced, whether it's a divorce or a breakup or a health crisis, whatever has happened, and really be able to look and say, what did I learn about myself that is valuable? And it doesn't mean that you wish the thing happened, and it doesn't mean you want more of that thing, but it's something that, it's a way therapeutically that I teach my clients, that if we can learn from the really rough experiences that we have, something about ourselves, not in some kind of punitive way, not that we deserve those experiences because you didn't, I don't, we don't, but it's really removes the need to repeat, right? Because there's that famous quote, we repeat what we do not repair, by Christine Oba Langley, I think her name is, but don't worry, I'll have it in the show notes. And I believe that is really true, because human nature, we have a tendency to repeat things that are painful. Now, it doesn't seem to make sense on the surface. But that is the way that we are wired. Freud would talk about it as repetition compulsion, that we feel compelled, we're drawn to. And the way that I see it is that we repeat painful things because we are seeking a different outcome, right? Maybe you had an absent parent in your life, and then you had a tendency to be in relationships with people who couldn't show up for you. There's a part of me that always believed once I became a therapist that it's almost like the little kid inside of us seeking a do-over. Like this time, it's going to be different. This time, I will be good enough, or I will be valuable enough that this person will show up for me. But what ends up happening is that without any therapeutic intervention or some kind of awareness or awakening of why you've been repeating these patterns, and there has to be healing with the original injuries, we have a tendency to just continue repeating them because of so much of this process is unconscious. So what you're going to find in this ritual as you go through it is that we're continuing to bring information from the basement of your mind into the main part of the house, which is your conscious mind, so that you can make mindful decisions. You can have a deeper understanding of yourself, why you are the way you are. And so always going into crappy situations and saying, what did I learn from that? Was there a gem of wisdom, right? So it's, any crap stew, I like to say, there are gems of wisdom in there, but you have to be willing to dig down and get your hands dirty to find them. So throughout this process of the stuff we want less of, the gems from the crap, we got it. But then let's move into the next part of this ritual. It's really getting clear about what you want less of and what you want more of in your life, in all areas. What worked well for you? What didn't work well for you? Be specific. This can cover home, relationships, finances, friendships, health, all of it. Because only you know what you want less of in what areas, what are the problem areas sort of in your life. And then we're moving into what you are creating in 2022, right? This is something we want to consciously create the experience. So this is why it's towards the end, because we've processed the good, the bad, the ugly, the gems, the lessons. And now we move into the final part of the annual ritual, which is really deciding what you want to create in this coming year. So I invite you, I challenge you to really create space in your life. Give yourself time and go for it, right? Don't dumb it down. Don't water it down. What do you want? Because this is a list. I'm going to talk to you about burning. Some of this stuff we're going to burn, but this list, what you're creating, you're going to hold on to. So I want you to be as specific as possible throughout this process. And don't worry, again, in the downloadable guide, terricole.com/guide, everything is there for you to fill in how you want to feel, what you want to create in this coming year. Because I have to say, so much of the time we can be vague about things. We want to be successful, quote unquote. That's not going to be enough. And this is where a little bit of magical thinking might come in a positive way, a little bit of manifesting, a little bit of the laws of attraction, which I do live in my life. But I don't teach as much because lots of people teach it. That's their main gig and what they do. And because I'm a psychotherapist, I really more stick to that. But I have to say, in my own life, I'm really big on vision boards. I'm really big on lists, and I'm super big on visualization. It is such an important aspect of my own health, success. So we're going to visualize. Once you get your list in order, we're going to visualize those things happening. And every time you see the list of your creations for 2022, you're going to feel the feelings of actually having those things come to fruition, right? It's not just enough to see the list. The whole point of attracting this in your life is being willing to do the work to make it happen. Yes, of course. but it's also having the audacity to dream and to believe in those dreams. And when we feel the feelings of having those things, it makes it much more likely that you will actually create those things. That is my experience, right? So we are taking positive action and consciously conjuring the feeling of already having what it is that you want on that list. And this is a really powerful way to stay on track with creating what you want to happen in 2022. And then we're going to do our ritual. You're going to take the list, and I have it all laid out for you, right? List number 3. The crap we're leaving is the stuff that we are burning. And you have to do it in a super safe place. Don't make the mistake I did. You cannot do it on 38th and 8th in New York City in a garbage can. I did that one year and a cop pulled over. I was like, okay, I didn't light that on fire. It just went on fire, officer. That was not true. I mean, it wasn't like a huge fire, but I was burning a small piece of paper. And the guy was like, hi, that's against the law. I was like, oops, don't burn in your apartment if it's unsafe. The best of your ability, burn outside somewhere legal and safe. And if you do it at home, make sure you have a pitcher of water right there to put anything out. Because really, just what good will it be to manifest your dream life in 2022 if you burn down whatever structure you're in? No, thank you. So we're ritualistically burning. But again, we're going to be feeling the feelings of releasing the things that the crap that we are getting rid of from 2021 and beyond. We want to feel the feelings of being liberated. So we'll always say, as it's burning away and going back into universal energy, I'm so happy and grateful now. I am free. Because really, a burn ritual is an incredibly powerful and reaffirming way to put your stake in the ground with the universe. To say no more of this. I do not want it. I do not want it. That's all I'm telling you. I don't want it. I know what I want. So you have your creation list, which tells you what you want, right? You give yourself time and space to make that list. And listen, you guys, this is a gift that you can give yourself. So really think about what you want to be different for next year and give yourself this gift of making it your reality. And again, none of this is magical thinking. It's honoring your feelings, your experiences. It's self-reflecting. It's doing a deep dive. And then it is planning, doing the work, and also manifesting, because you have to be able to visualize it if you want it to become your reality. I actually walked a big group of people through this personally. And if you go get the guide, there's also a link. If you want to get a hold of that workshop that I did a couple of weeks ago, you certainly can do that. So terricole.com/guide. All the information you need will be right there. I am sending you all of the best energy and telling you how incredibly grateful I am that you are in my crew. We survived another year. I can't wait to see what you create in 2022. So I hope that this added value to your life. Please do it. I usually do this on New Year's Eve with friends and family. It's like a whole little ritual that we do. It's so much fun to do it with people that you love because you're all kind of on the same page. So let me know what you did. I would love it if you shared your little burn pictures on Instagram with me. Tag me if you're sharing your burn ritual, because I will definitely be sharing mine. And as always, take care of you.